G'day. It's been a little bit. I've been busy. I've been doing things, living life, having a good time. In all honesty, but I'm like, you know what? I have a hankering to cast. Hi, Raka. How you doing? I hope you're doing well today. But yeah, I had a hankering to cast, so I'm going to be doing a few replays today. I'm going to have some co-casters come in and out as they will. Raka, you're more than welcome to co-cast a later series with me of a day if you like. I feel like delay's not on, at least today, so that invite's open to you. But won't have you for this one, because this one, of course, is Team Raka's in. 30 seconds to Mosh facing off against what I will just call Yavapai, because God, I am not remembering the full name. Someone does. Raka probably does. I do not. But it will be a Division E match, which should be a good time. Hopefully I'm audible, because I've heard no response from anyone, especially not Raka in a while. Raka, type if you can hear me. Please. But no, we are in for what should be a good series. Of course, without fail, I will be going to Infernal Shrines because, well, everyone loves Infernal Shrines except me. There you go. Yavapai County Multiple Youth Chess Club and Swim Team Episode 9 for last patch. Even though it says Episode 8 for last patch. So, Raka, you are wrong. To be fair, you're far closer than I was ever going to get, so you've done well. But I am... What do you mean? With my ears, okay. But I am going to be opening up the match now. We will have Infernal Shrines to start, so I'm going to do my exclamation mark Infernal, which, I'm going to be honest, somehow I've managed to luck into the teams that don't play Infernal Shrines as much this season, so I appreciate that. However, my luck was not going to last forever, as we do have this Infernal Shrines game now. So, on the side of 50 seconds to Mosh, we do have Moby1 on what's likely going to be Taunt variant. Raka on offlane players, I imagine. Sub-Zero, Vala, Born to Shine and Ever Captain is on Kerrigan. Meanwhile, on the other side, we do have Shan CB9 on the... What's their name? Sergeant Hammer. Galactos on the Decad. Sarah Lani on the Asmodan. Camel is on that Joanna, and rounding things out, I know, Camel's on the bloody Jaina. Alandrade is on the Joanna, I should say. What's the part that I was to want out to be a part of? I hear it was spicy, Lucky says Vino. I actually have no clue what match. I just click, claim replay, and then open things up. I have no clue what the casts are, but welcome Daya as well. Hope you're doing well. Hope in Voriel. But good. Early, quick wave clear from 56 to Mosh. They will be getting a rotational fight. Was that pull necessary? Either way, we are going to see that they are going to have a... So this is a replay. So when there are replays, I don't have that 30-second delay on. I will be responding much quicker as a much more chill kind of occasion because I won't have interviews and I'll just kind of be going back to back to back games. So I won't be any kind of particular rush, so to speak. Moby1's just here slowing down people. We do see that the wave rotation has caught up for Yavapai. They actually clear pretty quickly. Andrade gets relatively low, has to pop the iron skin, but they do at least have that defenses up, so they do get to live. Meanwhile, top lane, what's happening? Raka's not having a fun time. Hopefully, I'd like to see the attack speed slow and oil at 7, because that makes it much harder for Hammer to do things, but we'd have to see where we go there. Meanwhile, bottom, Moby1 very low. Captain standing in a blizzard, gets a lot of damage on top of him. The shield very much helped there against the Dunk Asmodan. They were quite low. Without that shield, they may have been... I don't know quite they would have been dead, but they would have been definitely less health than they would have liked. Camp being started by Yavapai, so they are on top of it. They don't exactly have amazing camp clear up until Jaina gets here, which you can see now it will speed up. And we do see bottom is picked up. Well, Raka, that's where you just go Zagara into it. Actually, this is the best you can do, just poke. You can poke and do more damage in general to Shan than they can do to you. But we can see Kerrigan has gone Quest Talent. Speaking of Quest Talent, let's have a look. Because we see it is Q build Vala with Puncturing Arrow. Yeah, Puncturing Arrow at 1. We see Kerrigan has gone for Sharpened Blades at 4. Meanwhile, Asman already at 64 stacks of their dunks. Shan went heal, I assume. Yeah, Shan went heal, that makes it harder. Yep. We also have 6 Jaina Globes. They're partway through their Frostbite as well, and Joanna halving now for mana and has picked up Subdue. Also, Taunt variant is up and available, which we can see there's the Taunt. And there's a very quick death onto Jaina. You could probably wholesale rotate to kill Shan. I'd like to see a wholesale rotate to kill Shan. Anyway, objective is up. I'm going to close this so we can have a look at really what's going on. And before I forget again, there we go. Right, that is now being cleared out. Captain running upwards doesn't quite get anything. What needs to happen is 30 seconds not Mosh need to pull the minions out of Hammer's range. As long as they're fighting in this little circle here, they're really at a disadvantage because Hammer can just shoot at it freely. You can see they're nestled in a little safety area up here where no one can get to them. It's pronounced Shank, isn't it? I don't feel like saying that. Shan it is. No, I know it's probably Greek for me to say it, but oh well. Anyway, we will have the map continue. Moby gets taunt off. Andrade gets very low. Unfortunately, that wall then making it a little bit difficult for Raka to hit the charge. And we can see that it is going to be an Arcane Punisher coming on out. Captain steps up in an awkward time. They are about to get jumped. Not taking the jump over wall may be a little bit of a misstep there. It's not the end of the world by any means because the Punisher was in there quite early on compared to the rest. But definitely not ideal. This just in, Raka doing the same. But we do now see that it is going to be the Punisher quickly getting melted. The whole front gate did go down because you didn't get the shots of keep on it. Andrade staying in once again a little bit too long, but no, they still have Iron Skin. Vala getting a few more stacks. Wait a minute, I can just remove messages, can't I? I'm the one here, Raka. I can't be. Yes, I can. But there, Raka never said anything. But no, we are going to be rotating down. Camel is going to be one in trouble. Does get taunted, does get pulled. They don't have Ice Block up yet, and they will go down. We get a big dunk by Sarah Linney on top of things. Andrade does get a blind off. And Galactos pushing up as well. This just in. Joe is hard to kill when she has a D. That is correct. I feel like I'm bullying Raka again. Dire, I'm not saying that one out loud. Fine. D makes things hard, yes. Oh, Raka's having a rough time top. Let's see what they picked. Yep, at least they did go nano machine coding. It makes it much easier for them and the team later on. We all were like, they can't play Joe, we don't have to ban it. Oh dear. Oh, I'm watching other things. Joanna's dead. This is my first character. Oh! Right off. We'll see how this goes. And you're only at 21 stacks, which is a decent rate so far. A few kills has definitely helped. I don't know when you want your Q stacked by is the issue. Also, this is a very aggressive play for this time of the game. You don't have your 10s yet. You are on pace to having it first, so you could have, I think, D makes things hard, but not impenetrable. Oh, god damn it, guys. Oh, Horny Red's here. Horny Brigade is definitely here. But we can see Sarah Linney does get hit with his Sub-Zero's Q as they are chased out. Sorry if no, you know what? That's a perfectly good reason. But we do see now rotations coming up. 10s through in just a few moments. How's the Raka update going? Not having good time. Shank is definitely making it hard for them, but they're trying their best to clear what they can. 10's actually through roughly the same time, because we do see Light Bomb from the Anduin, Rain of Vengeance Vala. It is going to be Summon Ultralisk. Oh, never mind, we're going to fight coming out. Camel is the one, trouble does get taunted. Pull combo comes out, however, not quite necessary to have a pull in there if they're going to be standing still. Andrade getting a decent stunt off, but not getting the quest complete. They're getting melted. Nice Decade Potion. Actually went Potion of Rejuvenation or Potion of Shielding. That little extra shield from the Q from Galactos helped keep Andrade alive. Is this Summon Ultralisk? Yeah, it is Summon Ultralisk. We also have Taunt Variant at level 4 as well as Cooldown Bunker Blaze. Come on, Chess Club. Where's my Chess Club at? Oh, nice Taunt. Unfortunately, the rest of the team wasn't quite there in time. A little bit early from the team onto Shank. Also, quick things to note on the other side is we have the Stay a while and listen. Falling Sword, which Falling Sword I'm not entirely sure about. You may want the shield to back to front easier, especially when you have something such as Jaina with Water Elemental. But it is definitely something... It can work. It does help against Taunt. And that is a very early start to the objective. Already 10 through. Good opening. Between the W from Joanna and the dunk from Sarah Linney, this is actually a very good combination to clear this objective quite quickly. Shank does get chased, and now we're in a position where it's taken 30 seconds of Mosh, a little bit to get down here. You can see a lot of damage coming out. Raka gets pulled, Sub-Zero rolls, but Andrade finds the shield clear and takes him down. Meanwhile, we do see it's a Falling Sword. Doesn't quite find anything. Raka charges away on in, does get stunned. Now the other one's in trouble. Bunker gets dropped, but they need... Oh, so they basically needed a heal immediately, and Born to Shine doesn't... Well, Anduin, I should say, not Born to Shine, but Anduin in general doesn't have the tools to get an instant burst of heal off outside of Desperate Prayer, and Desperate Prayer would, considering the pressure that would be coming onto Born later in the game, will definitely put Born to Shine in trouble. Also, welcome Melville. Hope you're doing well today, and I also should say welcome Anna and Captain as well. Hope you all are doing all right. Right, Punisher has jumped the gate this time, so it's taking a decent amount of shots. Actually getting melted quite quickly, in fact. Alright, Andrade healing. Captain getting very aggressive. No W under that. There's the W now. They are going to be escaping. Born Shine does get hit by Root, but they are going to keep everyone alive. Some Ultralisk going into Galactos. Blizzard getting a decent amount of damage onto things, and we can see Dunk getting a good double hit there. Sorry about this. There we go. That's also my second Kraken. Why are you like this? Right, camp is up. 30 seconds to Mosh are down 13. So yeah, we really are all gas, no break. Scott would be proud. We do see it is going to be a fight over bottom camp. Deckard hits an excellent free-man sleep. Captain trying to stay awake. We do see that Asmodan laser beam goes down, but Kerrigan's traded out for it. Meanwhile, Moby-Wan is pushing up. Andrade is actually out of mana. They are the next target. They walk directly into Moby-Wan's open arms, gets taunted into it, and will go down. And this may be an instance of 36 of Mosh actually not feeding on bottom for once. They're improving, Scott. Watch out. Meanwhile, looking top, Rucker is having a rough time. I don't know how else to put this. This is not a fun matchup for Blaze. Realistically, you may... Oh, you don't really even have someone good to swap in and out for this. I don't know. It's a hard one for sure for the offlaner here. Blaze is definitely going to struggle into things such as Sergeant Hammer. Realistically, you need... Again, something less standard, a little bit more ranged. Hogger can be good here. Sonya can be good here. Just someone who can get on top of the Sergeant Hammer, get back on top of them, and do a decent amount of damage. Like, Leap, then Spear on can do well. Nope. Sub-Zero a little bit out. But nope, doesn't get hit by the dunk. They do manage to back out to safety. Yeah, I don't know about this matchup. This is such an annoying one for Blaze. Blaze can do it. It just takes a lot of effort. But they are holding Hammer at standstill at least. Which Hammer has gone to deal with help with Bruiser Camp as well. And that's a lot of people just for one Bruiser Camp. A little bit of an overcommit. Or maybe a strat is the most gas, maybe sometimes breaks. I believe both those strats are a bit of an all breaks, no gas, to be fair. Right, Captain gets stunned, gets rooted. They're going to be stuck on top for a little bit. Sub-Zero stacking pretty well by the looks of things. At 17 Q stacks, 54 stacks for Kerrigan Sharpened Blades. Asmodan has finished Rav. Gluttony. They are at 2290 out of their Annihilation. Andrade gets hit with a decent amount. Nice pull. However, that Protect does so much. Falling Sword used by Andrade. I don't know if that was... Again, I don't know if Falling Sword's necessary for pick here. It's doing well to save them, but it's not really doing much else. I guess we'll just have to see how this late game goes. Let's have a look here. And Jaina has finished both her Braceline and her level 1. And oh! That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate for the side of 36 and Mosh. Losing your offlaner now, losing Blaze now. Not ideal, especially considering these death timers at the moment. And this is going to be yet another objective mid. This time we are going to get for more to Punisher. And again, this W from Andrade, dunk from Sarah Linney, doing very well to clear this very quickly. And Shank all the while behind just hitting those minions. But in saying that, it is still very close. Like, no Fort has fallen yet. We have seen no major level difference. Kills are pretty similar. That is Sub-Zero and Moby1 pulled out, just taking too much damage under that hammer. Hammer has gone the mechanical know-how, so can get a lot of damage done in a very short amount of time. But that is going to be now for Mortar Punish putting in. And if I was Yavapai, I want all 5 of you pushing in the same lane. Nice dunk onto the captain, making them lose a third of their health with the shielding, mind you. And they did also pick the bigger shielding, a volatile power. So they're doing pretty well in that damage. But now, if you are Blaze, that's not where you want to be. Good charge to get out. But unfortunately now the Punisher has jumped, so you can't get it to jump for another 10 seconds at this point. And we just got to keep that in mind and keep spreading. Moby1 charges into the Punisher. Raka pushes Q. Gif is the one, however, going to get jumped. Does roll to safety. Punisher wants them. Punisher cannot have them. It is slowly going down. Jump hitting both Born and Raka. Big dunk coming in. Raka very low, needs to keep backing on up. That Punisher may be the death of him, but we do see they get it in the end. I don't necessarily know if Yavapai can end here is probably going to be the thing. But we do see Joanna goes down, so definitely not. They are forced to back on up. Alright. What now, teams? We do see Camp being picked up by Yavapai. Also going to have a quick look at talents just so everyone's aware. We do see Painful Spike on Kerrigan, so can have that little bit extra burst, which will be dangerous when we come into... This allows for better picks, essentially. This just allows for better picks. Just a bit... It's just more damage on each hit you do. I mean, next 6 hits you do. I know I like the ultimate upgrade. Oh, Moby1 gets hit by the Doritos. Sub-Zero gets a nice stun off. Push back. Shan gets stunned. Gets pulled back in, and that is going to be enough to take them down. And that is a stat complete from Sarah Lani. Hope I'm saying that name right as well. Right. Now we've got this pressure here that Blade's going to have to deal with. Good camp take by 36 and Mosh. And this is the first time we see anyone actually kind of ahead experience-wise, or even level-wise this time around. It's been so close the whole game that even this half a level feels like a lot. God, I missed the bug. Got ya. But right, good camp clear. Camp taken. And we do see Yavapai, I imagine, would do their own now, just to balance things out. No, they're not. Well, at least not all of them are. Decade rotates down. We see Sarah Lani dunks. Mostly gas, add breaks to taste. You're going to probably invade of this if you're 30 seconds to Mosh. I guess you didn't see where everyone is, but hindsight and me being able to see the entire map is probably a little bit easier for me. Captain maybe shouldn't be here for too much longer. Yeah, they back out, but they don't have that instant punish of Blessed Shield. That's kind of like the major thing I want to note this game, where he's doing well, but Blessed Shield would help so much in these instances. Right, sorry, I'm back. Varian holding aggressive. Andrade pops unstop really early. Taunt is still up. Actually, every cooldown of 36 Mosh is up. But Sarah Lani getting another really good dunk. Also, not a single Punisher has been top. We've literally gone mid-bot, mid-bot. So, fun fact, we have a terrible history invading that Camp Lamau. Yes, you do. I'm aware of the history. You also have a terrible history of this camp here as well. But we do see now that once again, Yavapai knows they need to set up early. They can see Decade already throwing the potions in on the point. Moby1, very aggressive compared to the rest of the team, does chase everyone up. Andrade halving in a very awkward spot. But they should ultimately be able to get out here. And this is going to be the first Punisher in quite a few levels. Okay. What is the power of Pitbull? Please tell me. Please tell me while this objective goes on, because this is the first objective we see that Phoenix and Mosh is actually going to be able to get. But it looks like that Yavapai is just trading top for it. And it looks like they're going to just push straight on to keep as well. They have a good enough comp to do, they have a very good comp to do it. that does not explain it. That does not explain anything. Because we see Jaina, Hammer, and Azmodan all pushing all very good push heroes. And honestly, you 39 that, leave Raka alone and then come top. Oh, we do see the teams being chased out. Moby1 riding. Andrade had already used Iron Skin, so we're taking a lot of damage for it. And that is good. Good. I was going to comment on that from the captain. The captain had a lot of the times tried to combo, use their full combo anyway when someone was taunted. This time they just used W straight onto the taunt target and they died. Right, Punisher. It is a frozen Punisher slowly whittling down bot. I'd like to see the whole blue team go bottom now that they have 20s. Speaking of which, we do see 20s online through for both sides. And yep, Ultra Capacitors. This is where things get scary for basically Mosh. This Sergeant Hammer 20 is the reason why you pick her currently. It is an incredibly scary thing to watch. Because once it really gets rolling, that's a lot of damage. But we do also see Azmodan went Pride. Hell yeah. Jaina actually went the Deep Freeze, so up to a 60%, Deep Chill, sorry, up to 60%. So Galactos, oh, as I say, Root barely falls short, but the Q from Vala does not, they go down. I think so, we have Heaven's Fury. Decade did go Respect Your Elderly. Respect the Elderly, but we also see Burn Notice Blaze, Glory to the Alliance. Kerrigan is just solo pushing up there, as they do have the Assimilation Blades. Yep, Assimilation Blades. We also see Volt Vala for that Q build, as well as Light Bomb Anduin. So, pretty standard heroic, pretty standard storm talents storm talents across the board. Definitely the one I see the least is Burn Notice, but that is I personally do like Burn Notice for extra slow and extra dot. It does provide, it's quite nice. But I know some people are like, I will go upgrade to Bunker and I will die on that hill. Yeah, much like Water Elemental also gets its own sprite on map, so you can also see that one as well. Yeah, so I think heroic summonables do get their own symbols, kind of like the Mutalisk. Burn Notice is a better show than Bunker Upgrade. What do you mean by better show? It's me, I die repeatedly on every hill. Fair enough. We do see wave being cleared out, people coming top. Are they just going to do their camp, or are they going to fight? Dire could be a ghoul. I have no clue what Burn Notice is, Rucker, I'm going to be honest. Oh, Andrade checks a bush. Moby1 was just holding a little bit too far back just to see anything, so they would have missed Andrade rotating through them. That's unfortunate. Just a little bit too passive on their hold, meaning that there's rotation and they don't get to see it. Invade. Do it. You know the team was top. You have a little bit of time. Do they have enough time? Moby1 has put down the banner. Oh, they went banner upgrade. Never mind. It's back literally as soon as it disappears. Especially with, like, banner Dalaran. It makes it like an 8-12 second cooldown, one of the two, but it's like up for 8-12 seconds. So very much you're not too fast. Wave clear coming up once again. We're really just following these teams back for like, oh, they clear a camp. Oh, let's look down here. Camp clearing. What's down here? A lot of... Oh, there's one catter just being slowly cleared out. What's over here? People being cleared out. What's down here? An objective soon. Also, no objective top. Very unfortunate for Yavapai that nothing has come up here. If, like, Yavapai just get one objective up here, that's, like, done. Like, that would have been very good. But this lane is still very good for them as well. We've got an open fort here. For some reason I thought the open fort was top, but no, the open keeps here. Never mind. Scratch what I said in the first instance. It's very good for Yavapai that it's here. Sergeant Hammer used that napalm strike. Andrade steps up. Moby1 a little bit higher compared to everyone else. I will zoom back in actually now that I'm thinking about how far out I am. Nice sleep hitting both the front lines. Captain very deep in. They're realizing now they're a little bit of a mistake, but do get out. Assimilation Blades, that shielding from the extra damage it does is very helpful. And that is an excellent Scroll of Stone Curse. Andrade completes their Q as well. Hambo got a lot of damage there. Azmodan got a big dunk. And that combo alone wiped things out. Born to Shine trying to escape. Don't think they can. Does get a route onto Shank. But Born to Shine will be getting out safely as a loose term here. because now you've got a lot of pressure to deal with calls. We see Shan and Camel both running there as well. Galactos, Sarah Linney. Joanna did go down, so they are missing kind of a front line to deal with this. But it is going to be like a big pot decade, so it's not going to be the hardest thing in the world to deal, like to heal things up. Yeah, it looks like this may be GG for the first map. Yavapai started to quickly melt this core down. Born to Shine trying their best, does get rooted. They're standing of a blizzard. They don't... Oh, can they take Camel Galactos out? No, Galactos will go down though. But we do see that is going to be the core down either way. So GG, first map going to the side of Yavapai, because I can never remember their full name, and I don't. I guess I should say it right once. Yavapai County Municipal Youth Chess Club and Swim Team, episode 8, the last patch. Right, so looking at talent real quick, we do see that it is going to be relatively standard builds across the board. We haven't seen Q build Jaina in a while. Definitely one of the ones... Well, Daya, I'm going to be honest. Too bad. I haven't seen Q build Jaina in a while, but definitely is nice to see. The good extra poke did definitely help kind of lower the Kerrigan and Vala, and that's just in general what maybe was the difficult thing for the side of 30 Seconds to Mosh. They had a lot to deal with both, because they just were getting outranged. Vala Q build probably had the most range of them all, but Kerrigan wants to be close in. Vala, up till later in the game, needs to be close to do a decent amount of damage. Anduin close, Blades close, Varian close. Just there's a lot of range that the team had to deal with. Looking at stats as well, we can see this almost reflects that no one on the side of 30 Seconds to Mosh were able to fully get in there. Vala did get 35k damage, which is good, as well as Kerrigan 185k siege, Blaze 141k siege, but Sergeant Hammer 183, Asmodan 178. We can see that 22k soak from Asmo, 25k soak from Kerrigan, but Asmodan had 80k hero damage, Sergeant Hammer had 72k, and even Jaina had 38, so definitely the poke there was hard to deal with. Born to Shine did try help mitigate that. They did do 83,000 healing on Anduin. Decade only 33k of their own, but unfortunately didn't quite get through it. So let me just go back on over to the map view screen and we'll see what we have next. What are we going to be? What are we going to do? What is it? I believe it is Sky Temple, which I'm kind of sad we don't see Sky Temple more often in the series, in Nexus gaming series, because well, I do very much enjoy it. But I know I'm one of the few who do actually very much enjoy it, so I'm opening that up now. We'll get into it shortly, and we'll see how we go. So, relatively standard comps again. It looks like we're going to have the same style of composition rolling out for 30 Seconds to Mosh. The Yavapai has changed up a little bit more. So let's see how this goes, shall we? Need to hide this before I forget. I've accidentally clicked on the call. Let's do you. So, on the side of Yavapai, we do see Shank on the Tassadar. No. Phoenix. Andrade May, Sarah Linney on the Orphea, Galactos is on Anduin, and Camel is on Kira. And on the other side, we do see the Captain Jaina. Sub-Zero on the... Oh my gosh. Shooty dog, man. Greymane. Born to Shine right wing. Raka is on the Sonya, and Moby-Wan back on the... What are you guys on about in chat? Anyway, we do see Varian is... Moby-Wan's back on Varian. I need to make a note about something real quick. Right, but we do see voice being cleared up. Top, we do see Raka going off against Shank. Raka did mention chat before. Shank refuses to go anything that's not standard off lane. But again, there are ways to deal with things such as Phoenix. And actually, Sonya is one of the better ones. Sonya is one of the better ones to deal with these ranged offlaners. It's not ideal, but at least you're not running something like a Leoric into it. But again, something like Zagara could definitely be interesting into these heroes. Zagara is actually very good at countering these types of heroes. Right, we do see these siege camps being picked up. A lot of people on this one. You see Sarah, Camel, and Galactos all clearing that up. Meanwhile, Greymane and Born to Shine just doing it roughly at the same time, just the two of them. And we can now see there's a little bit of rotational advantage coming up. Publications of B, team name versus Ulgen Distillery. Yep, I can do that. It is now on the list. There are a few things I have to do. Also, Sonya went down to Phoenix. That is unfortunate. There's also something I want to know. I am going to have to take a quick break after this series because I need to go do a few things. But I will be back afterwards. Just there will be... I will need to be out for like 15, 20 minutes. I've just... Something came up that I got a text about and I need to deal with. Actually, no, not a text. My housemate came and went, hey, can you do this to me? I'm like, yeah, no, I saw I'd be doing that. Moby-1 goes all the way to Narnia. Shank actually went, oh, wait, no. But no taunt yet. Very fortunate for him. Actually, this would be a good game to see Shield Breaker coming out from Varian. Yeah, so now what? I have a Div B, a Div A, and another Div B to do. Camp getting cleared up. Jaina does Q the tower. We do see him taking a little bit of damage. And I like this. I like seeing a heavy push top and seeing what you can do with it. Shank isn't quite sure how to deal with it. Sonya trying their best to clear the camp, does start spinning. Andrade pushes Raka back in. Raka living? Nope, not quite. That is unfortunate. But with the objectives coming up, bottom not quite as important as the top two lanes. We can see that, well, there's a taunt. Is there the damage? Yes, that is Shank being traded out for it. So this aggression, we can actually already see top halfway down. And are we just going to get a core race like this? I don't imagine so. They were very mean to me. I can see that, Raka. Be mean back. Tell them no. Put your, like, elbows out. Say, no, you're being mean. And take them down. But we can see very... Well, everyone that was still showing that wave, you have a little bit of time. You can split. You probably don't want Jaina and Greymane both top. You definitely probably want one of your damage dealers here mid. But no, apparently that's not how we're going to see it. Oh my god, Raka went sliding on it. Oh no. Oh no! The pushback from Andrade, meaning the phase shift did not go off, and Raka goes down once again. Unfortunately, the Brightwing phase shift not able to quite save her friend. Greymane rolling at Shank. Shank being forced out. And honestly, we need to see kind of Varian and Brightwing make their way on up top. But I think by the point, Joe gets there. Oh, not Joe. Andrade gets it. Andrade, I don't think he should have gone in there. Varian just taunt the May. Varian did not taunt the May. Raka stressing me out in replay. I'm going to be honest. I want to... Wait. I need to take a screenshot of something because I need to send it. Snip. Sorry, I've tabbed out of the game briefly. Hopefully that doesn't mess things up too much. Didn't look like it, but anyway, we do see Andrade does get hit. They do use it really early. We do see the aggro down. And no taunt even used by Moby-1 there. It's just May dying. Right, the rotation. And I do see we are going to get an invade. Which, considering how the last map went for 30 to Mosh, they do very much need this aggression this time around. They do need to find the second map, so they're not out of the series. God, that was such good distraction of a bloody camp. Just, you need to deal with it, otherwise it goes straight to this keep. Captain and Moby-1 take a tower in the meantime. Meanwhile, we do see Raka going up top to pick up that soak that Shank wants to really push in with. Getting some aggressive pings coming out. We do see it is going to be 36 and Mosh making the way down. Does dodge the wave. Taunt coming out, and they're still stuck in Blizzard. Galactos did use pull. That's him going down. Meanwhile, Raka is getting chased down by Shank. Shank has gone the auto attack movement speed build on anything slowed, and so they will be getting some good value off of that. Meanwhile, we do see it's a wave. Good cleans coming out, and Moby-1 does hit a minion. Greymane has got, talking about talents actually quickly, we do see Greymane gone a Wise and Duelist. Not often you see this, consider kind of that win more talent where if you're doing well, you're doing well. If it's not going as well, it can very much struggle. So we'll have to see how Sub-Zero does with that. Meanwhile, we do see that Camel has gone the bleed quest at level 1, fatal wounds, so we'll be taking some time with that. Temple is up, capture the temple. Level 10s are through for Vertex and Mosh, so they do have an advantage there. I'd like to see Yavapai just push top instead here. But in terms of things, we do see Ring of Frost Jaina, we do see that it is Brightwing Blink Heal, Taunt Varian, Bullet from Curse Bullet Greymane, and Leap Sonya. Ooh, circle going around, doesn't quite find Andrade. We can see that, well, Moby-Wan was the only one actually hit by the Crushing Jaws as Snowball pushed everyone up. Camel now in trouble, Raka taking a lot of damage, will go down first. Camel spinning to winning in the middle of everything. Hits a nice 3-man stun. Born to Shine now in trouble themselves. Captain being chased by Shank. And we do see Born to Shine try their best to keep him up. Born to Shine in trouble. Captain in trouble. Phase Shift not coming out in time. Born to Shine now needs to leave. This has been a good fight for the side of Yavapai. And we can see that Phoenix does finish things off with that long auto attack, that W. And that is a good 3-man kill. Shank doing work there. And talk about 10s on the other side of Yavapai, because they did give it out just before the fight broke out. We did see it was Avalanche sweeping strikes. Unrelenting strikes, sorry. A light bomb, crushing jaws, and it is going to be Planet Cracker Tassadar. The thing is, 36 of Mosh still got a decent amount of shots out of this objective. We can see it will be bottom going down for 36 of Mosh. So bottom fort's even, mid fort and top fort still up for 36 of Mosh, where Yavapai do not have theirs. Right, let's see what's happening. Nothing really. We're just going to getting some soak, getting some push. Someone will need to go deal with this. Someone needs to definitely deal with this large wave bottom. That's a lot of soak. Similarly, we do see Shank top. Born realizing they probably shouldn't be here anymore. Does back up. So Bruiser Camp being picked up by Yavapai, but however we do have the aggressive take of fidgeting the Mosh onto Yavapai's camp. Moby-Wan does get found a bush, Andrade getting polymorph, getting stunned. That's a lot of damage, and they can't even use their ice block. They go down. And boss call coming out. They know they can't get invaded. There's no boss available. There's no tank available, so why not? And this... While last map seemed very comfortable for Yavapai, this seems a little bit more difficult. They are winning in terms of kills and experience, but the macro game from 30 seconds of Mosh is much better so far. Okay, being picked up. And they do take it down. Nice and effective. Right, bottom, we do see that the Sand Golem gets a decent clear there. Is going to start pushing on up. It's taking a lot of damage, but it's already got halfway up the lane, halfway of itself. I don't think it'll get much of a gate, especially because it's hitting the bottom one first. I don't think it'll even take out a single tower. Nope, it's just both towers going to be at half. And if I was 30 seconds to Mosh, I may want to do the bottom objective here. I guess neither truly matters which one, but bottom at least goes on to this weakened structure bottom. So this would be a good pick for 36 Mosh. While at the moment, both of these for Yavapai go to this middle one. But it looks like they just want to catch someone out instead. Oh, Captain face check to Bush. Born to Shine. Doesn't cleanse themselves, but cleanses... Oh, a little bit anti-synergy. They do get Avalanche out of here. Raka now very deep. They don't have Leap to get back out. They had to use it to get in. Captain getting hit by the Crushing Jaws. Phase Shift coming out. Doesn't quite keep Captain alive. Captain goes down. We do now see that it is going to be Sonya in trouble. Sonya goes down. Sarah Linney getting very low. There comes a stun. There's a kill. However, Greymane does die for it, and they lose 5 stacks of Wizened Duelists. And at this point, if you're these two heroes left, go bottom. Get what shots you can bottom. See if you can catch out Shank as well while you're at it. Shank knows what's happening. Moby-Wan wants it, does not follow through. And oh no, that Shattering Throw was picked up by Vivarian, so they do have that pressure to put on. Galactos coming on down. Shank is here as well. We do see that a few shots being taken out. I don't... As I say, it's 36 to Mosh. They don't see it back out yet. They saw... Camel up here. They knew where Camel was. Their team is back roughly the same time. Right wing just half, so imagine they're going to have phase shift back in. Which, honestly, go now. Go now, take some damage, see what right wing can do. There's a light bomb, there's a froze. Nice preemptive phase shift onto the captain, because captain took a large brunt of the damage here. Raka now in trouble once again. We do see it is going to be... I can't remember her name. Kira going to first. Galactos, very safe half. We can see now the team is just chasing risk. Galactos does get out. And this does have a few shots left on it still. But that one phase very much evened things up for the side of Yavapai. We can see that it did just get top and mid. That bottom one now we can see Raka finishing off this bottom one here. Does get the shots off, but will not take down this building. We'll get a decent half maybe? No. A third? A quarter. Not even that. But it is a good spot that facing the Mosh needed that fight really, and it does help them get things back in order. Lingering ailment from... I always wonder about that. I honestly think booming kick is a play like 99% of the time from Kira. Just the AoE stun is so helpful, especially if you could booming kick everyone back into Maze Blizzard. That's a hell of a combo you've got there. But lingering ailment minus 25 definitely helps blow up the front lines such as Sonya and Varian. Because Varian, one of the healthiest tanks in the game. Now we can see an aggressive rotate coming out to top camp. Galactos wanting to start it, but no, being forced out. And this is now just going to be a camp being picked up by Yavapai. Not by Yavapai, by 30 seconds. Hey, Moore, I hope you're doing well today. Right, this building is going to be going down slowly. Nope, we do see Moby1 is now one trouble. Does get Avalanche. I did see that one coming. The most telegraphed play in the game. Well, that is going to be a lot of damage. Moby1 holding on for a little bit. Right wing phase shift did not help there. Well, it did help for a little bit, but we do see it. It's now 3 for 2 so far. 3 for 3. Raka very low. Captain as well. Shank does follow Jaina. Getting hit by the little bit Blizzard's not a good idea. As we do see they get queued out. Oh, E falling just short from the captain. Camel wanting to go on. Warning ping coming out. Captain backing on up. And just like that, a lot of people died. 4 for 3 though in Yavapai's favor. Yavapai only losing 3 there. Captain could do a little bit of the objective, but they can't stay for long. So they may be able to get like a few shots off. They know where people are more or less. But they don't want to risk too much there. Especially because of what we see already Orphea and Anduin are back. Nice chomp by the Orphea. And we can see now top mid objective being called. We can see everyone making their way there. Galactos is the first step on, but no. Boss call by Mosh. Interesting. I don't know about this trade. I guess if you guide the boss, then it can do more. But considering these objectives are just so strong, I do not know if this is worth. But the upfront fights have not been doing amazing so far facing the Mosh, so this is definitely a good idea. May checks bush. The camp is already taken by the time they even get in position. The captain pushes into an interesting spot. There comes the Avalanche, only finding Varian. Captain being forced out. Sub-Zero in trouble. Nice light bomb hitting one of the damage dealers. Camel is going to start spinning. There comes the taunt. However, as crushing jaws into the laser beam middle of things. Bright Born to Shine blinks to Moby1. Camel very low. 20 health left on them. Born to Shine blinks on further out. Captain trying to run. Andrade trying to follow. Does get a nice snowball off, but no, they give up on the chase. Meanwhile, Boss is pushing into the structure itself. So we may see that actually go down now because the team of Yavapai was too busy chasing and fighting 15 seconds of Mosh. Okay, Sarah, let's not talk about what I just saw there. But they didn't even manage to get the full combo onto things. Who dare ping me? Who dare ping me? Sorry, I'm back watching again. And we do see that it doesn't quite get any damage on core, but it does still a decent amount. But we do see, once again, aggressive invade polymorph coming out to Shank. Shank getting silenced by the Brightwing. Taunt coming out, cancelling the shift. Oh, and the fear of running from Shank outweighed the light bomb, and we do see that is going to be Mei going down. That is a crushing jaws, decent damage onto Moby1. Moby1 gets charged off, Cyril and E gets chomped. Taunt wasn't quite available. Ring of Frost, however, is, and we do see it is going to be the Cold Snap coming on out. Anyway, looking at the 20s, we do see Cold Snap on the Jaina Invisible Friends Brightwing. We do see that it is also Glory to the Alliance variant. I can't remember what this is called. Tooth and Claw on the Greymane, and it is going to be Composite Spear on the... What's her name? Sonya. On the other side, we do see it is going to be the Cascade Mei. I can't remember half these talents, man. No Sanctuary, Singularity Charge, Inner Fire, and it is going to be Eldritch Conduit on the Orphea. Which, any opinion of this Orphea build? Because I know what build you like a lot. I should really not close it and ask him being closed. I should open it back up to give you time to react. Also, keep in mind that Kira not quite done with their level 1 lead quest yet. They are still going on that one. We do see now that it is going to be this camp going down. The only reason I ask more is because I know that Moore really likes going Q build. That's the only reason I ask more. Because I know this is actually I think it's the standard build if you're picking her in, if you're picking Orphea in competitive, you very much want that trait W build. But I know that Moore very much prefers the traits build where you can just zip, the Q build where you just zip around hitting things. I like Eldritch Conduit a lot. Eldritch Conduit feels like it just adds so much damage, but minus 50 armor is also an incredible amount. But we can see objectives being traded out. This is not a winning trade if you are Yavapai. If you're Yavapai, you do actually need to fight this because you're getting equal amount of shots off. Okay. But you're also just losing that trade because you have less structures. This is not a good idea. You want to fight. And we can see now Yavapai realizing this, starting to rotate their way down. But at this point, you've left it a little bit too late. Nope. It is going to be Moby1 Fun. Curse Bullet finds Andrade, however. Avalanche coming on out really early. Protect coming out. That's crushing jaws as well. That's a lot of damage. We do see now for this Beyblade from Camel does get a kill. We can see Phoenix is traded out for it. We do see that it is going to be also Greymane find a kill. Sonya gets one. We do see Spear on the Camel. Camel does get hit by Ring of Frost. Will go down. Cyril and E now the next one in trouble. And that is going to be a nice dive by Sub-Zero. You see him going down. And honestly, just call to end here. Be in the photo. Huge ring. The build palindrome is the most hard carry potential. Constant ability resets if you hit them self-sting. Yeah, if you do hit that build, it does very well. But we can see now it is going to be the end call from 36 to Mosh, as that will be the game, the second game of a series going over to them. And as a reminder, just going to remind now, I do need to take a break after this next map, because I didn't know if it was going to be a 2-map or 3-map, so here we are. Anyway, let me throw on over to the game summary screen. So while those banks have left the game to slowly disappear, there we go. Let's have a look at talents. Very much classic Orphea build. We do have Anduin going Q build. Not often you do see Q at 1 and 7. With the burst that was coming up for 30 seconds to Mosh, maybe the shielding at level 1 on W may have been a bit better. Hard to say, because that Q build very much leans more into sustain heal versus burst heal, and there is a lot of burst between things such as Greymane and Jaina under a taunt variant. That's a lot of burst you need to deal with. Sure, they had double pull to deal with that, but it's still a lot you need to deal with, because double pull, 75 seconds per charge, as opposed to, and it's not even it's a shared cooldown, it's not, they're both happening at the same time, compared to a 16-second taunt, it's not ideal. Kira did at least complete her Q quest by the bleed quest by the end. We do see, I did like Phoenix's build. It is a tough one to deal with for most offlaners, and we can see Sonya once again not happy that they were getting fit. They're being preyed upon a little by a space crab. Interesting to see it is Greymane going the Wise and Duelist. Unfortunately, didn't quite have the stacks that they could have. They could have been up to 13 if they didn't dive at one point, but still did alright. They still did pretty well. Yeah, that's kind of my breakdown of the talents. Let's have a look at stats. In terms of stats, we do see Jaina and Phoenix having the most siege for their teams respectively. Orphea actually pretty close on 111k herself. Sonya, 11k soak, 41k siege. Jaina also 53k hero damage. Phoenix actually had 60, yeah, so definitely Sonya is getting a little bit bullied this series. 17k soak on the Jaina compared to 15k of the Phoenix. In terms of the healing, 74k Brightwing to the 40k of Anduin. Talents real quick. I've already done, I've realized. Why am I doing it again? So let me go to map view and see what our final map of the series is. What are we going to... Oh, we're back at Diablo. We're going to... Not Infernal Shrines again, thank God. But we're going to the... Battlefield of Eternity. That's what it's called. I'm just like looking at it blankly. It says what it is right in front of me. I just like could not remember. So we are coming up to the final map. This should be interesting. What each team is showing is in their arsenal. It could be good. But let's see how this goes, shall we? As I need to click a bunch of buttons. And now click. I nearly went to the wrong scene. So, on the side of Phoenix and Mosh, we do see Raka, Sonya at the bottom lane. We do also see the Sub-Zero, Greymane, Born to Shine on that Rhaegar captain, Jaina, and Moby-Wan on the Muradin. On the other side, we do see Shank on report Sarah Linney for wrong mount, please. We do see Shank is on the Reyna, Galactos on Brightwing, Andrade, Anubrak, Sarah Linney, Li Ming, and Camel is on Vivala. So we're getting the standard race builds here from the side of Yavapai. So very much Q build on Vivala. We have auto attack Reyna. Well, we have execution of Reyna. No, exterminator Reyna. Q doesn't find its target from Obi-Wan. Does get hit by a Q from Camel, but we'll be backing out. I also want to note here that it's very much we're going to see probably 30 Seconds of Mosh needs to aggress into the side of Yavapai, but Yavapai very much wants to race with how this goes. They don't quite have the close quarters team fight that this map does want compared to 30 Seconds to Mosh. I imagine we're going to see Muradin go. Every time I see Muradin on this map, I see this Stormbolt's Sledgehammer talent at level 4, which means 300% damage to minions, monsters, and elites, which this objective does fall apart of. Also, 3 stacks from Vala so far, they're doing pretty well. How's it going, top? Not great for Raka, gonna be honest. I see. And Shank going, wait a minute, what? Shank's like, how did that happen? As you do see Sub-Zero just riding on away on the bright, colourful steed. Galactos is going to be starting the camp below. We do see Andrade, the one in trouble. No. But I don't think they've realised what's happening below them. It looks like they do now. Captain does call on there, does get polymorphed off, and they are going to get their camp. Andrade nearly went down, actually. If Jaina had stayed with Andrade, Andrade may would have been, with the main team, Andrade may be dead. Or if the whole team went down, maybe they took the camp. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a split call there, and it made it harder for 30 Seconds of Mosh to do either thing. Moby-Wan halving now, by the way, so no tank for a little bit. Sub-Zero clearing camp. They do it for free, and they just back out to safety. And it is going to be Born to Shine on Rhaegar starting the camp. You realistically don't want to cap it for another 20 seconds, though, still. But at least going to be melted slowly but surely. Meanwhile, up top, we do see the Bruiser camp of Yavapai being started their own. Level 4 is now through for both sides. We can see it's relatively standard array, and still the only stacking quest is going to be Puncturing Arrow. And we do see sustaining rounds on Reyna. I actually don't pick that talent. I actually had to give it a read. And Raka being forced out by Shank. I feel like this map is going to be in Yavapai's favor up until level 10. But once level 10 comes through, there's just going to be such good engage tools for 30 Seconds to Mosh that Yavapai have a harder time. Oh, Q actually falling just short for Camel there. You want to take this fight now? Vala is your main target. Hammer unfortunately doesn't quite find him. Does get taken out by the swipes of Greymane. Galactos didn't phase shift in. But all while up above him, Shank is racing. If you're Moby1, honestly, you want Moby1 to stay here and the rest of you race. I guess Captain doesn't have a race until 7 when they get Ice Fury Wand. Give the globes. Yeah, give the globes. Yeah. We might see Raka clearing camp. Shank all the while hitting them, but Sonya isn't the easiest one to take out, and Shank did go more PvE-centric build. PvP is not quite as strong for them, but definitely still does well, because it is Raynor at the end of the day who does pew 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 pew. Right, we do see the burrow out from Andrade. Moby1 actually right with him hits Raynor with a hammer instead, but does get forced out. And yes, Shank does refuse to play normal players. No, not players, offlaners. I guess offlaner is a very loose word, because technically Murky isn't a normal offlaner. He's definitely best suited for the offlane role, but he's definitely not a normal character to play. You don't see him often. Meanwhile, things such as Phoenix are often accepted as an offlaner. We do see now rotation coming down. Oh, burrow charge out from Andrade, getting to safety. And we do see it is just going to be some wholesale talent picked up. Leap. Yep. Everything makes sense. It actually looks like a heavy impact Muradin. I love heavy impact on Muradin, especially in coordinated, because it makes it so hard for the enemy to escape, and it is such a good engage tool. You see Andrade 80% slow, but they do have burrow charge to get out. Meanwhile, it is going to be a front gate going down fully. That is a pretty good start for the Immortal. It's not going to get too much through the actual building itself, especially now Vala does have that Q at level 4. Andrade barely surviving. Sub-Zero actually going a little bit too aggressive now. That is going to be them polymorphed. Born to Shine going, what? And I can just hear stressed healer noises going out now. But Andrade gets to live, and Greymane did sell out for the kill there. Alright, and bottom camp being picked up. Raynor did check top camp, I want to note. They're going to do it. If Raka sniffs this out, that's not something Shank can be able to do for too long. And from their vision, they should be able to see camp being done. Shank is now aware that Raka knows. Raka, you're going to have to step up in a few moments, bud. Now. Too long. Way too long. Unfortunate, as that is then going to be them clearing it up. Right, this wave is getting cleared. It is going to be a little bit of push coming out from the side of Yavapai as well. They do have a Beetle build, Anubrak putting out Beetle. So not Beetle build, they actually spell armor build. So quite hard for the captain to deal with. You very much need the Greymane to help deal with Andrade in this instance. Rotation coming up. Oh, look, Raka, I know I can see everything I can see everything where you probably can't. So very much it's me just kind of praying, going, please go. Even though I know that you didn't have the full amount of information. Moby1 jumps in, hammer. Yep, there it is. Unfortunately, not enough bobbing and weaving for the rate. Not any amount of bobbing and weaving could save that. Just for patience there from Moby1. Moby1 can hold the hammer as long as they like. Unfortunately, Raynor cannot hold their position as long as they like. Raynor will have to step through the gate eventually, and we can see they did try and finally go for it, but no, they did get stunned. And now, that's a good front gate going down. We do see rotation coming to the objective, and it will be Camel going into race immediately, but Moby1 holding very aggressive, and Galactos actually pops Fairy Dust of themselves. Wait, no. Is it called Fairy Dust at level? I actually don't have a name of talent. Pixie Dust of themselves. And Shank did go up to look to race, but they were forced out. Right. Let's zoom all the way out and see what happens. As we see, it is going to be the race call for the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. Hammer does find Anubrak. Beetle does burrow out. Shank very aggressive. Leap, unfortunately pushed back on Moby. Moby gets stunned. Ring of Frost comes out from the captain, doesn't quite find anything as well. Meanwhile, below, Vala is racing. There comes the stuns onto Andrade. The Sub-Zero a little bit aggressive compared to where everyone else does get hit with the cocoon and will be trapped. Meanwhile, all our bottom Camel is racing, and we can see that it's getting close. They are forced out now. And that is going to be yet another Immortal going over the side of 56 Mosh, but they do need to clear up this top wave, which we see Captain diligently going to do. Nice. Good clear. Right, and there is... Am I fully zoomed out? No. And there is the Immortal now. Does take a decent amount of damage from that globe. Get some damage on the core, and we'll keep hitting it. Shield broken. It's going in now to hit with its swords, but we do see it is quickly dropping. What does that sound? Oh, it's Charge Blast and Seeker. I'm just getting so confused. I'm just hearing it. But yeah, we can see that Li Ming has gone full single target race build. Is it going to be down? Ring of Frost finds Camel. Captain stepping up. Can't quite get the damage on it. Greymane, however, does full combo dive. And we can now see that it is going to be Greymane stuck in a cocoon. Vengeance Mind. Sorry, but I remember how much I needed that to have a long range bully. Yep, fair enough. Oh, wait, you got killed bottom. I didn't even see that. Oh. Oh, no, you got killed during the team fight. That's right. Well, whew, fair enough. Right, and this camp is going to be quickly picked up by the side of 30 seconds to Mosh. And they're going to call to do their own bruiser. Yeah, may as well get it out. It's extra experience. Such dive from the GM. Lovely. No, I 1v... Oh, you did 1v1 Raynor? Okay, then I definitely missed it then because I was watching a push instead. No, that makes sense. You're right. My bad. Right, Shank quickly clears this up. Exterminator does, well, Exterminator things. And now we see a wholesale rotate coming out bottom. Oh, they may have overstayed it. Welcome. Cyrilini may be the target. Nope, we do see stun coming out. The Lactose does blink to safety. However, Captain loses a lot of health. Leap coming out onto the Li Ming. Li Ming feeling the love right about now. Greymane diving on in. They do see the phase shift go off by Brightwing, but doesn't quite save him. Shank actually very alone below. That should be the target right now. Shank realizing they are the target right now. He gets taken down by Muradin's hammer. Look, I absolutely understand in a game where you've kind of been bullied by this other person for the last 2 maps of the series. You need your release. You need that vindication. You need to get that kill. Because at this point, you're like, I can do it. It's this kill's for me. Oh, very early dive from Anubrak. We do see Ring Frost come out. There's a stun. And there's Andrade going down quite quickly. Unfortunately, the full spell armor build from Anubrak is quite prone to things such as Greymane. Excellent auto attackers are always going to be a problem. See, speaking of which, Greymane and Captain racing. Oh, Shank, I don't know if this actually works out for you. It may do, actually. Sub-Zero very low. The slow from the Captain helping out. You know, we see Galactose and Brightwing now, the ones in the firing line. Shank and Galactose in trouble. The healing coming in out. And we can see everyone is getting top back up. Do you invade the camp if you're 30 seconds of Mosh? You have a 2-level lead? You don't have a talent advantage is the only problem. No, it looks like they're just wanting to race. And they're in every right to race. Sure, the single target damage is amazing for Yavapai, but 30 seconds of Mosh have just that level advantage and still do pretty well on the objective. Vera's Cocoon coming out once again on the Greymane, and actually it's going to be Mobiwan getting very low. Greymane forced out of a cocoon into what is only described as an immortal stun comboed into a stun from the Vala. And that's maybe the first objective that Yavapai is able to get this map, I should say. I was about to say series, but series wasn't correct, but map is. Right, nice. Ring of Frost is going to be the Brightwing stuck. Does blink into the Blizzard. But we can see that it is going to be Yavapai barely getting the objective, so it will be their first one of the game. It should be pretty easy for 30 not pretty easy, but it should be pretty straightforward for 30 seconds of Mosh to clear it. I don't feel like that it was... Like, yeah, sure, you probably guarantee you get top here. But with the Immortal, you probably could have gone a little bit more than just top. Top, I think you could have just sent one person up and found that either way. Bottom, I feel like you should have sent at least 4 people. It looks like Raynor overstaying is going to be looking to overstay the welcome. That Protector is going down pretty quick. Raynor did stop. Just run upwards. Oh, Shank will actually be out safely. It is his level 16 advantage. I don't know about this camp for the side of Yavapai. But it is going to be Moby-1 the latest, so the tank is still on the way. Does overjump things. We do see a Nubrak is the one found. That is a nice stun. Raka gets not phased, Raka gets hit with the Ancestral. Greymane once again for one in the trap. And we can see now it is going to be a lot of damage coming out. That is the jump used. Captain now in trouble. Goes down. Those bullets from the Vala too much. Greymane once again just taking out Nubrak, but will lose your life for it. And that was down a talent tier, so very good fight there by Yavapai. And let's see what's happening. They're going to be doing bottom camp. They are down their tank, so they can. It's kind of risky, but they're up both their damage dealers, so it's not the easiest for 30 seconds of Mosh to step into this, especially because Brightwing does have phase shift available. Objective should be called in roughly the next 20 seconds or so by the feel of things. We can see camps being picked up either side. Well, look, there the Immortals are now. I should have said 10. Whenever I get the feeling, say it should be picked up in the next 20, 10, 30 seconds. It's always like in the next few seconds after that it gets picked up. It gets called. But it looks like everyone will be up for this objective phase. And more importantly, it is an even fighting field for Yavapai, so it is very much their opportunity to come back in this now. We can now see that this is what it meant, that we need a more defensive setup for 30 seconds of Mosh, as we're in that late game. There's very good race for the side of Yavapai. Oh, nice sleeping. That's a very dead bright one. Greymane going deep once again. Does pull out. Andrade went for the burrow charge onto it, but couldn't quite find it. We can see now that Moby-1, Raka, and Born to Shine are all holding on the objective, while the two damage dealers are going to race. Nice spear onto Camel. Camel then gets slowed by the totem. Heal Ancestral coming on out. It's a nice stun by Camel. Shank as well is hitting the objective. Born Shine backs on out. Raka low. Moby-1 low. No escape for Raka. Moby-1 does have jump. They do get out. And that is a first half of the objective going on 30 seconds of Mosh. But I do wonder when the engage happened, it would have been smarter to call both the damage dealers back to help fight. It looks like that may be the case now. We do have a bit of a split fight here. Oh, that is very unfortunate for the Andrade there, getting hit right at the tail end of their burrow. They do lose both their players, but that now is going to be an objective up. Greymane looking to chase. There's a leap onto Camel. Camel is very slowed in that blizzard. That is going to be them going down. I imagine they'll just get Sonya deal top, and they can just quickly melt this objective. Yeah, Sonya's up now. They should be able to deal with that camp. This camp is already basically... That Shaman's basically dead already, which is good for them. Nope, Moby got hit right as they went to jump. That's unfortunate for them. Oh, very quick sights from the Greymane. Right, this objective is actually taking a lot of damage before it even got to the gate. We see it takes one tower, but I don't think it gets too much more. No, it doesn't. It goes down. I just need to do this. Right, and we see top camp being picked up. Raka does leap on, does hit Shank for the efforts, but realizes they should not be there any longer. Spins out, and now we see Greymane is holding up a little bit too high. Oh, Moby-1 getting aggressive, stepping on up. Shank is out of position compared to everyone else. Doesn't quite get hit by Ring of Frost, but they are moving into a very tight corridor where it's not quite the easiest for them. However, Seralini is also fine for them being in this corridor as well. They are just magic missiling, Wing into it. You can see that the Hyperion does do a little bit of damage, but doesn't find any kill of its own. And they do get out. Objectives should be called again shortly. Again, 20-30 seconds. We do now see everything being cleaned up. Oh, spawn camp's up. Maybe someone does it. Oh, yep. 30 seconds to Mosh wants it. What are you planning? Camel and Seralini. We realize maybe not being here is not the best idea because they are squishy at the end of the day. Without Andrade with them, they're not wanting to risk that. But Storm Talents are through for the side of 36 and Mosh. We do see it is going to be the... Oh, interesting. We see Elemental Conduit on the Rhaegar, not the AoE Ancestral. Very... not usual. It's definitely not usual. Often when you see totems, you see W build, but I guess they did go Earth Shield as well, so it does help its situation. We do also see that it is going to be Tooth and Claw Greymane, Snap Freeze on the Jaina, Rewind Muradin, and Composite Spear on the Sonya. Q doesn't find anything, the W doesn't find anything. Sealy falling a bit short there. Oh, we see it is getting... Wait, did he end up going it? No, they didn't. If I was a Moby, I wanted to be saving my stun here just in case people would try to step in. I know it's extra damage all in all, but you already have both your damage dealers on the Immortal. You don't really want to waste any unnecessary CC. Well, this is going down quickly. I do like the camp being picked up here in the meantime. But we see Jaina's already going to deal with things top. We see that bottom is going to be the Immortal as well. Realistically, I would like to see Sonya go on top instead of Jaina. Jaina now having to deal with that. 20s are through for the side of Yavapai in a few moments. So we'll see them push on up soon. I think if you're Shank, you should honestly back. Nope. Shank has decided to fight the captain. Ring of Frost drops. We do see it was a little bit slow onto Shank. Shank does use it E to try catch up, but no, Captain is out. Unfortunately, Shank did not get that kill. Now we can see Gate going down. This Immortal will continue to push. Nice double stun by Vala. Is going to quickly go rewind. So there's rewind. Hypership. No. Speedy Dragon. Execute orders. Random Vengeance upgrade as well as the Telras's elements. Night lead by Sonya, but we do see the cleanse coming out from Galactus not long after. That building's down. There's still a lot of health left on the Immortal. All while Raynor is pushing, does get rooted by the Captain, does take a decent amount of damage for it. I don't think you need to spend this much to half. I feel like you could have kept the pressure on mid this core and could have taken at least a little bit more off, but they decided to play it safe, and now it is going to be... I don't know if that was correct by Galactus. I feel like Shank and Galactus are now both now dead. Yep, that may have sealed it. Yeah, if you're facing the Mosh, I'd say now just push top, see if you can get both lanes in your favor with that passive pressure. Because, well, you don't have healer, you don't have Raynor. Raynor did have executed orders to use, so they are back pretty shortly. Is there any internal cooldown on it? No, it's just reduced death time of about 35 seconds. So Raynor will be back in saying that, but Brightwing is still down for another 30. Not 35, to be more precise. So, we do see Camp being picked up at top, Camp now bottom. I would have liked to see the aggression onto this fort, in all honesty, because you know that Brightwing isn't up for a little bit. Interesting to see where I can both healer and damage go around this long way to see if there's anyone considering flanking. But no, everyone does show themselves bottom. I don't know, it feels like we've just spent a little bit too much time to go core now. Brightwing's up in 10. It's not very end callable. If you get a pick here, if Moby-Wan gets a good enough leap and stun combo, that could be a time to end call. But Brightwing's up now. You don't really have the time to do so. We can see that 56 Mosh does back on up. Yeah, I do wonder if just pushing top would have been a better choice for them. Oh well, hard to tell. We will be getting into the objective phase shortly. They are going to be picking up their Bruiser camp, but that will put them a little bit behind in terms of... Oh no, the Immortal's just there. It's not like they're going to be missing out too much. And I imagine we're going to get some posturing as soon as they get their camp done. Oh, as I say, is Yavapai doing VS? VS is up in about 40, they can. But the one for VS and Mosh is up now. So we do see it is going to be going... Where are they? They know now, and they'll be considering pushing in. Oh, Cyrillini has been found. Moby-Wan doesn't quite hit the hammer there, unfortunately. Objectives swinging at each other. They're just going to do their thing. A little bit of damage going to Moby-Wan. A lot of damage going out to Moby-Wan. Phase shift. Ancestral needing to be used. Nice stun by onto Camel. Camel goes down to Greymane. is going to be Shank now in trouble. Knockback onto Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero dies. They did get go for off first by the looks of things. And we see now that it is Sonya on Galactos in the backline. Spear hits Cyril and Eve, but not the one they were wanting. Galactos gets very low, doesn't go down, but meanwhile we do see Reno does. And that Hyperion actually going the way they didn't want it to by the looks of things. Went a very much backwards. Unfortunate. Sonya did half just to heal themselves up. Greymane is down, so this isn't going to be... Oh, Born. This isn't going to be the fastest objective phase. Captain at least has Ice Fury 1, so it does come back. Blizzard comes back a little bit quicker, but it's not the fastest. Right, the wave is cleared, and now we do see we're going to be in the next... Is it going to be up here for red? Nope, it's blue. Red's down here. I think it actually targets the person who gets the kill. I don't think it targets the closest. I think it targets the person who gets the kill. I could be wrong, though. Oh, you're right. I should really just check instead of open my mouth. Shank and Cyril Linnea looking to get very aggressive. Sub-Zero. They're just looking at the back door. Oh my god, it's just been entirely missed.
Let the burning hells atone for their sins.
Very good patience by Shank and Cyril Linnea. But no one knows each other. There's the call now. I don't know if there's already percent on core. No, okay, yes, I already admitted that I was wrong. We do see a wholesale half coming out. I think you may have been able to race, honestly, but no, it looks like it's going to be a core. And it's going to be a nice double stun by Moby1. That may have saved it. Nice leap by Sonya as well. Triple stun. And there's going to be 2 deaths now. Raynor and... Oh my god, 2% left. That's so sad to watch. That's so sad to watch. That's unfortunate. But that will be the game going over to 30 seconds of Mosh with a very unfortunate Hyperion there as the Punisher. Immortal itself takes out the core. GG. Alright, let's have a look at the talent screen, shall we? In terms of talents, everything relatively standard array. Execute orders was definitely an interesting pickup there, as well as Storm of Vengeance, especially if you're picking things such as Punishment. Punishment, I do think, is one of the weirder ones picked up by Vala, as you're not really statting into the W build, so maybe if there's something else there, such as the auto attacks, or the one that gives you bonus damage at max hatred, not via multi-shot cooldown. That may have been a very different story at the end there, but it didn't quite work out, and we do see that Feasting the Mosh did have a relatively standard array of talents. I do like this heavy impact, but there's just some very good stuns there that kept Feasting the Mosh in it. A 2% call left, but unfortunately 2% is enough. So in terms of talents, we do see Reno 130k, so compared to Janus 119, Siege in both instances. Yeah, that's very good discipline between the two heroes, just holding still in that bush. But in terms of Soak, 20k on the Sonya, 16 on Raynor. Hero damage 45k, Sonya 68k, Raynor. And healing 101k, Rhaegar 62k, Brightwing. So pretty close across the board. Let's go over to the map view screen now. As we do now see, it was a 2-1 at the end of the day to 36 to Mosh. Infernal Shrines didn't quite go their way. They had a lot of difficulty with that one, dealing with a Sergeant Hammer and just a lot of range damage. Then we do also see, then it went to Sky Temple. 36 to Mosh had a very comfortable macro game there, even if the team fights didn't quite go their way, so they took that. And it led us to the last map going in favor of them as well, with a very close ending. So, I'm actually going... Originally, I do have a few casts planned for the day, but I do need to go do a few things. So what I'm going to do is I will end the stream, but I'll be back in maybe about 20 to 30 minutes with another cast, another few casts. But to everyone watching so far, thank you for watching at least this match. and I'll be back in a little bit to cast some more. I just need to do a few things, so I'll catch everyone a little bit later. Have a good one. See you all in the Nexus.